Now it's over in the three dots.
Got it. Okay, so everybody has to hit got it or to
Right.
accept the recording.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you can go live on Facebook, Jan, or Lisa, who's ever doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Okay, Jan's doing it.
Okay.
Continue as Jan.
You can switch because you're a co-host.
Okay. Post content. Who can see? Okay, continue. Continue.
Okay.
And then you post the UMBS page.
One moment, Terry, we'll answer your question. We're trying to figure out how to go live on Facebook. Is that right? Yes.
There you go. Got it.
Got it?
Got it.
So now we're live on Facebook?
We sure are. Hi,
Good job,
everybody.
Jan.
Yay. Welcome to Let's Be Live. Jan, our fearless president, has some announcements to make at the beginning of our show today.
Okay, so State Fair is coming up. We're still looking for volunteers for the State Fair. And we only have 8 volunteers so far. So we'd really like more volunteers. The date is August 30th. There's more information on the website about it. But I put in the chat, Marlene Morris is the person to contact, and I have her email address in the chat. And just as an extra kind of enticement, we're going to do a drawing of the volunteers for one of the Toho mini kits, which has about $60 worth of beads in it. So it's worth it. You'll only have to volunteer for a 2-hour shift. You get free entrance to the fair. So hopefully we can get some more volunteers for that. It's actually pretty fun. It's in the Creative Arts Building at the fair. You have a 2-hour shift. You get to talk to people. You bring some stuff of your own and something to work on that you can demonstrate. And I've done it before. It's pretty fun. The other thing we're still looking for the State Fair is that we have a not judged display of jewelry. And we're still looking for entries for that. So if you have something that you'd like to share, you could get it either again to Marlene Morris, or you can take it to Bobby Bead. And it needs to be there by next Saturday, the 19th. And I think that's it.
One question.
Yeah.
So Terry, she was trying to access the UMBS on Facebook and received a message that her membership is pending. Who should she contact for that?
Becky Pancake.
Okay, do you have, can you put her info
Sure,
in
I'll
the
put
chat?
it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yep. And our Monday night meetings for members are no longer being streamed on the member group on Facebook. They're only Zoom. We were doing both before, but Facebook is now having an issue with us streaming to groups. We can stream live to our page, but the group we're having issues too. So that's why we're just doing them to the Zoom Monday nights, and then we're uploading them to the private YouTube channel to watch later if you missed. So after you get your membership and everything, you'll get your emails with the Zoom links, and you'll be able to join all the Monday night meetings through Zoom only. So we'll have a message about it in the Facebook groups with the Zoom links. And join our group. It's only $35 a year. If you're not a membership, our next Monday meeting is going to be September 11th because of the holiday. And it's Diane Dennis. She's an amazing designer. I was just with her at Bead Fest in Lancaster, PA. And she did a speed beading competition with us at the Toho booth. And we had a great time, and she'll be our speaker for September 11th. So join our group. It's the first Monday usually of every month, unless there's a holiday, then it's the second. And we have special events and speakers each month. And so that's at umbs.org. Do you have any other announcements?
I don't think so. I just wanted to tell people that if they don't see like messages, I put my Etsy shop link in the chat section. You might have to scroll up or down to see that in the chats.
Hey, Rochelle, I'm trying to see the Facebook thing and it says it's starting soon. Maybe I did something.
Well, and that's where I'm also trying to, Lisa, Hannah asked me if we went live too. And our little recording up on the top says we went live, but I'm wondering if we went live on your page or on the Upper Midwest Bead Society. Did you pick
Ah.
your page?
Okay,
Or-
let me
Because if you
see.
picked your page, then you need to stop and we need to redirect or
Okay,
something.
I'm going to, what am I gonna do? Stop live stream?
Yeah.
Okay, now, let's work through this quickly. Sorry, guys. There's
Okay.
certain technical issues. Okay, so the first one says, oh, here.
Live on a page you manage.
Okay, I'm
And
gonna
you're
share.
supposed to switch down or share.
Okay, so can you see what I'm on now? Live stream, Zoom meeting to Facebook Live?
I don't know. I'm trying to talk to Hannah via text while you do it.
It says welcome to Teams.
No, I got rid of that.
Okay, well, that's
You're
what
sharing
it's
a spot.
showing.
Okay, stop share. I gotta start again.
Okay.
Stupid Teams just was installed on my laptop. Okay, I got it. So Zoom meeting live, Zoom meeting description on Facebook.
Which is UMBS, Let's Be Live, Lisa
And then
Dooley.
share to your group.
No, share to a page you manage.
Uh,
Share to event, share to page. And then it should have your page.
wait. It says Upper Midwest Bead Society Zoom meeting. That's the title. It says Zoom description. Oh, you know what?
You need to type in there.
I think I logged in as the wrong person.
Well, if you log in as Jan, you were one of the co-hosts.
Oh. All right, let me try this again. Live on Facebook. And yeah, it logged in as me.
Right, but you should be able to go to event on page.
It's a Zoom meeting description on Facebook. I don't know what that is.
Well, you should type in UMBS Let's Be Live Lisa Dooley. That's the description of what will show up underneath the video.
And choose where to post your Zoom meeting. Share on your own timeline, share on your group. Share to your group.
Oh, you're supposed to be on the page.
Select group. Oh, here's the trick. Okay.
But is that the private group? We want it on the public page. Can you type in Upper Midwest Bead Society and choose a place?
It only wants to go to the, it only wants to go to the, shoot. The only one listed is the Upper Midwest Bead Society 2023 membership, the private group.
Right, that's what I'm trying to tell Hannah, that it's only going to the group. And so maybe I can try to do it on my phone. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see what I can do. More. Background, hi.
I got an error message. Subject does not have permission to create live video on this group. Okay.
It's your thing, da, 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 da. Okay, this is not working. God damn it. We have to zoom it to the group. Stream live to the group. So hit stream live to the group for now. You have that option to stream live to the group, so do that. And then we'll share it. Damn
I've
it.
got, oh, okay. I don't. I have live on Facebook, live on Workplace, live on YouTube, live on Twitch.
Right,
And
live on Facebook, and then when it said where to share it, to your page
okay.
or to your group. So try the group. Like I said,
Share it to your
before it wasn't
group.
let me, so try the group. Before it wouldn't let me do the group.
I only have the membership group. I can't
Yeah,
get.
do the membership group. We're gonna at
Okay.
least do it there, and then we'll share it out from there.
Oh, I got it. Okay. Oh, this is where I get an error. Subject does not have permission to create live video on this group.
See, that's what I mean. They won't let me do that. Okay, so let's see. Lisa, can you try to share to Facebook?
Okay, so can I do it off of my computer? Do I need to?
Yes, off of your computer, down on the bottom where it says more, go live to Facebook.
More.
I wonder if
then
you have to give her permission in Facebook to do that.
Well, that's what I was trying, but I can't do two things on my phone at one time.
Ah,
And so I'm trying to get
Do you-
started. But try, Lisa, at least can you do it? Because I gave you more permissions on Facebook.
Okay, so I can go to apps because that's what I have.
No, down on the bottom of your Zoom screen, it should say go live on Facebook.
Okay,
Under the more,
I don't have a more.
do you have a thing with 3 dots on it?
Do I have a thing with 3 dots? Let's see.
The right?
it's usually down on the bottom.
Yeah, you have to put your cursor at the bottom just above that
Right.
to get it to light up.
Okay, so and that's where security participants chat. Is that what I'm looking at?
To the right of the chat should then be a record and then more.
Okay, it says advanced sharing options.
No, to the right of that.
Okay, pause, stop recording, reactions, apps, and whiteboards.
Okay, what's
Right
to
up
the
the
right?
whiteboards.
To the right of whiteboard, to the right of app should be 3 dots that say more.
Nope, all I have is leave.
Okay, Jan, can you make Lisa the host?
Wait,
Isn't there 2, 3 dots? Because maybe it's
Okay.
just the,
okay, yes, now I see it. There's more.
okay, now go live on Facebook.
Live on Facebook. Okay, let's see. It says Zoom video live stream. Edit. Let's see. It says continue as Lisa or cancel.
Continue as Lisa.
Okay. And then post content to your timeline on your behalf.
Okay, and then is there an arrow down behind your timeline? Is there another one or just that one? Is that your only option?
It says public, friends, only me, custom.
But you have
can
no other
see-
option than just your timeline?
Continue as Lisa. That's it. Or it says cancel.
Okay, let's post to your timeline and stream it live on your timeline. It's your class. We'll have Hannah redirect people to your timeline.
Okay. Okay. So,
Post to your
Zoom
timeline.
meeting title on Facebook, Upper Midwest Societies. Okay.
Let's be live with Lisa.
Okay. And then, checkerboard.
Yep.
bracelet class. Okay, and then share on your timeline.
Yep.
And then who could see this is the public.
Yep, to public, and then it should say go live.
Go live. Preparing to live stream the meeting.
Perfect.
So I'm just gonna wait until it does that.
It should be there momentarily.
Okay. So. Okay, now
Say hi, everyone.
okay.
Sorry
There.
for the technical difficulties.
I think we got it. Do you
Yeah.
see it? Did anybody check that to make sure that it's going live on my page?
I got Hannah Rosner checking on it right now.
Okay, very good.
So we are, we're checking that one out. And so in the meantime, say hi to everyone.
Hi, everybody.
And
Hello.
let's quickly, yes, you are live, Lisa. I just
Woohoo.
checked. Everything is great.
All right, great. Okay, so today I'll be teaching my checkerboard bracelet class, and let me just switch cameras here and I'll show you what this looks like. Okay, I want to see this page. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is the seaside colorway, which has some greens and in there. And then this one is tuxedo. This is a black and white, and the demis are that is that the Jet AB or?
I think so.
Okay.
It's a Iris 86. The
Oh, Iris. That's it. Yes. So there's different colors in the demis, and it's a really neat effect on that. And then this one is the Golden Sunshine. So there's light topaz, iris, fire polish, and it's really pretty. And then also, I wanted to show you, if you wanted to make this into a necklace, I have this chain here with the same type of magnetic clasp. And so I'm just going to attach the bracelet to the two ends of that necklace. And then it becomes a necklace that you can wear. So whether it's you want to wear it as a bracelet or a necklace, it's really easy to convert that. So, okay. And I wanted to say thank you to everybody who purchased a kit. I really appreciate it. I still have more in my Etsy shop if you would still like one. So I think we are ready to start. Hopefully everybody has their directions printed out from the UMBS page. Okay. So I'm going to, I did some of my own notes, and then there's important notes on the pattern. So the stiffness of the bracelet, let me show you that. So with this one here, so the ones that I made for samples are pretty stiff. They're not squishy, they're pretty round, as you can see. This one I did as a sample, and you can see it's squishes. So it doesn't matter if you have a lighter tension or a stiffer tension. The other thing that will make this a stiffer rope for you is if you sew through the beads. In the pattern, it says to sew through them after you add the beads, then you go through and you sew through all the beads again. If you do that, then it will give you a stiffer rope. If you don't like that stiffness, then like I said, you could do just go through the beads once. You don't have to repeat and sew through the beads again if you don't want to, but it will give you a squishy rope. Either way is fine. just keep your tension that consistent throughout the project, because you don't want it to be squishy in some places and more stiff in other places. So that's with the tension. The other thing, if you are using Fireline or Eslon thread, and you want the color to match your seed beads, you can go ahead and fold a piece of paper a few times, because otherwise it will bleed through. And choose a Sharpie marker. I have several colors. So you're gonna choose a Sharpie marker that matches your color A seed beads, which is the more dominant color in your bracelet. So in this one, you can see the turquoise beads are the more dominant color versus the orange ones. So I'm going to take a Sharpie marker and just run it along this thread. Oops. Like that, just lay it flat on the paper and just, can you see that? Run your thread through it. Oops. Here we go. So here's the thread here, and I'm just going to take it and just do this, and it will color your thread. And so if the thread shows through on this, the first part I used the white part of it, and then the second part I used the blue thread, and you can kind of see it there. So it's just, if you wanted to not make it look the white thread showing through, you could do that, but you have to do that before you wax your thread. If you do use thread wax, do it before you wax the thread. Always remember to step up after each round, and we'll get to that. And let's see.
Lisa, question about using the pens. Are they permanent markers?
Yes,
And-
they're
and
permanent
so-
Sharpie markers.
And so do you get stained on your fingers then from it, or when it dries, is it?
It dries. I don't get any, well, yeah, I guess you do get, it does come up on your fingers a little bit. I don't know if it's because it hasn't dried or not, but you could see a little
Okay.
bit
Little bit,
on
okay.
there. So,
Just
but it
curious.
does stay on the thread too. So, okay. So on the pattern, the important notes, in each of the figures, you'll see the two black threads. One is the tail thread, the other is the working thread. I use the red squiggly lines, as you can see in figure A and B1, to show the working thread. So just make sure that that's where your working thread is going through the beads. Also note, if the rope feels stiff, gently squeeze and roll the rope between your index fingers. So you could just take the rope like this, and then just take your fingers and just kind of roll it in between your fingers like that, gently, because you don't want the beads to break or anything, or the thread path to break. But then that will give you kind of a softer feel to your rope too. So you could do that. And this is a chenille stitch without a border, which I have slightly modified to make the checkerboard look. So you can see the pattern throughout there. Kind of looks like a checkerboard, I thought. So, okay. So if we are ready, we can start. So thread your needle, and on the opposite end, the tail end of your thread, I am going to just wind that up a little bit. Like a foot of thread on the end. And then I'm going to take a bead stopper and just put that in the bead stopper. And that is,
Lisa,
yes.
one moment. Can you make Jan and I co-hosts? Because you're the host now. If we're co-hosts, we can let people in for you.
okay, how do I do that?
Go to participants, or no, just like find our photo where we are, and in the right-hand corner, there should be little dots, and it should say make co-host.
Okay, so let's see for you, and then make co-host.
For me and for Jan, and that
Yeah.
way we can do all the housekeeping for you doing your, but you can still stream live and do all that kind of your important stuff.
You're okay, so Rochelle, you're already a co-host, and Jan, I just made a co-host.
Perfect. Thank you. Now we can assist.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then spotlight you. So that way we see your photo and then your camera, or I don't know if you're spotlighted or not, but
I think
anything you want to do, you have control over now.
okay, am I spotlighted yet or no? No?
I don't know, because it depends on how you're sharing your screen, but it's up to you. If you're screen sharing or if you're just using that one. Either way, we see your screen perfectly and hear your voice perfectly.
Okay, well,
But you're the host, so anything you want to do, you get to do.
okay, I don't know if I,
But I will let people in and help on the chat area for you now.
okay, I'm just gonna leave my screen. I don't know if I am. Am I spotlighted? No?
So I'm using a view of speaker, so.
Okay, so yes. So I went up to view and I hit speaker.
And you should, then I see, however anybody wants to see you, if you're speaking, then your view should come into play versus
Okay.
gallery.
Yeah.
So,
So everybody needs to do that, though. They need to select a.
correct.
view
If you
up in
want
the
to
right hand.
see Lisa's face, everything bigger, that's how you work it, is hit the speaker on your thing and then you'll just hear Lisa and see
Yeah.
Lisa.
I don't
View
know if
and-
anybody wants to see a bigger version of my face.
Oh, you're adorable. I'm so excited to chenille with you. And so thanks for joining us with all our technicals and
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to it because I'm on speaker, but for some reason on my computer it doesn't show that. So I don't know. So I'm gonna go back to my document camera. Okay.
it's
Is that good?
beautiful. It looks great.
Okay. So now we're gonna start. And okay, so I added a stoppie to the end of my thread, about a foot of thread that I put in my stop or left in here. And then that towards the end, we're going to make a smaller section of beads. And that is going to be inserted into the bullet cap. So right now, if you try to insert it with the 3mm fire polish, it doesn't go in there. So that's why I left the remaining thread so we can do a smaller section without the 3mm fire polish at the end. We're not going to do that now. Okay. So, and if you do not like this, you can just do your normal tail thread, which is about 5 or 6 inches, and then we can add the thread later at the end when you're ready to add that smaller section. So either or is fine. Okay. All right, now we are on step 2. And we are going to string a seed bead sequence of 2 11As. And that is going to be your dominant color. It should also say on the first page of your directions, it should have color A or B in parentheses next to the seed bead color. So
Lisa, we can't see your hands when you're doing that.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. There we go. Can you see my hands now?
Yep.
Okay, so there's 2 11As and 1 color B, which is your non-dominant color. And put that towards there we go. And I'm going to repeat that 2 more times. So I'm going to pick up 2 color A beads and 1 B. And 2 color A and 1 B. So is it easier to see with or without the light? That's without the light.
Without, looks good right now.
Okay. So there is that sequence that I have repeated 3 times, 2A, 1B, 2A, 1B, 2A, and 1B, seed beads. Okay. And I am just gonna take my thread and sew through them once, all of the beads. And that should form a circle. Like that. And then I am going to sew through the first 2 A beads. Oops, I have it. So according to my diagram, sorry, it should be like this. So that's figure A. And it's coming out of, oops, the first 2 A beads and then the B. Okay, there. Yeah. Is there any questions? Okay. So with your thread coming out of that size 11B, which is that orange bead, we are on step 3 now. You're going to string 1 of each. So you're going to string a demi, an 11B, which for me is the orange bead, and a demi. Like that. Here's your 3 beads. And then you are going to sew through, oops, let me get these out of the way. You are going to sew through the next B bead, seed bead. Which is a little difficult because I'm so used to holding them. Hold on one moment. There. So you're going to sew through that next B bead.
So the 3 new beads sit right on top of the 2 other beads below it.
Correct. The 2 A beads below it.
Okay.
But if you, I mean, you don't have to make sure that they're sitting on there right now. You could wait until you add the beads and then cinch all the beads together. If that makes it easier for, you know, to see it.
Oh, just want to make sure that they sit like on top of or not like
Correct.
splitting. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes. Good question. So I picked up that sequence again, 11 demi, the size 11B color seed bead and the demi, and then sew through the next B bead. And if you did want to pull your seed beads so they're on top of the A's, I just kind of push them up like that. So they're on top of the A beads below, the 2 beads below, and then do that. They may not stay though. And then repeat that sequence one more time. And sew through the very last color B seed bead. Oops. So there. So now you can see I've added a total of 3 sequence of beads. Oops. One moment. If they behave, there. So I added 3 sequence of these, and that's going to be throughout this project. You should have a total of 3 sequence of beads added to each round. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to pull your thread taut and push these beads up so they're sitting on top of the A beads like that. Okay. And now you're going to sew through the first demi, color B seed bead, and demi. This is where, if you want to make it a little bit stiffer of a rope, you can continue to sew, retrace the thread path and sew through all the beads that were added again. And just to make it a little bit more stiff. So that's what I'm doing right now. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to. So. Like that. So now I'm coming out of a size 11 demi bead. And I'm on step 5. And I'm going to pick up 1 fire polish bead and sew through the next sequence of beads. So I'm going to sew through that demi, color B seed bead, and demi. This is where the slightly modified version of this comes into play with the fire polish in between. So you see how it sits in between those 2 sequence of beads. I'm going to do that again. Pick up 1 fire polish and sew through the 3 beads that were previously added in the last round. I'm going to exit the full screen. Exit full screen just to see if there's any questions. No questions so far. Okay. Feel free to stop me if there is any questions. And I have one more fire polish to add. Because remember, there should be a total of 3. And I'm going to sew through this next sequence of beads. So it should look like that with your thread. So my thread is exiting the demi, and to step up for the next round, I want to sew through the first fire polish bead. Don't forget to step up. There, like that. No, there's the thread coming out of that fire polish. Is everybody good so far? Okay, I see a thumbs up. That's good. Thank you, Joyce. Okay. So now it's, and you know, if you need to, just pinch it in between your fingers to keep its shape. And here again, you could sew through all the beads if you want. One time to make it stiffer. I'm not going to do that for each round. I'm just going to go ahead and just sew through it once. I think also waxing your thread will help too, to keep the beads in place. But all right. So we are should be on page 3 now. And step 6. And we're going to repeat this sequence again. So we're going to pick up 2 11As. And we are going to sew through the next fire polish. Okay.
No B?
No B on this round.
Okay.
In between the 2 fire polish beads, it should just be the A beads for now. Like that. And then pick up another, whoops, 2 A beads and sew through the next fire polish. And last one, because I have 2 of these that the 2 sequence of A's that I did there. So we're going to add a third one. And sew through the last fire polish. There. And pull the thread tight. So that's what it should look like. And then we are going to step up by sewing through the first 2 A beads. Like that. Okay. So step 7. This is where we're going to add the B beads. So we're going to string 1 demi and 1 color B seed bead and a demi. And we are going to sew through the next 2 A's. Like that.
On your pattern on step 7,
I think that it does say, so through the next two 11 Bs, and you meant that to be As.
Oh, thank you for catching that. You are correct.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, I appreciate that.
By the way, your kit was so great that, and you even included thread and a little curler bobbin, so cute, and a needle, and you threaded the needle, and I was like, wow.
I did that because there was so much thread. I didn't want it to get all tangled and everything. And I thought, you know, let me just switch here. What can I do to eliminate that? Because I just knew that adding so much thread, I could just imagine a big tangled mess when you pulled it out of the bag. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So
That's so cute. That's so cute. But
Thank you.
this fire line, I bet it's 8 pound. Or is it 6? I think it's 8. It feels like 8 pound to me.
I thought it was 6. It might be 8.
But it's cool. I love it.
I'm okay. That's great to hear, because that was like the first time I did that in this kit. So I'll do it more then if I have a lot of thread.
But the holes in the Toho beads are so large, you can go through multiple times with the 8 pound as well.
Correct.
And
That
not
makes it-
worry about it. It's so great.
Correct.
Yep.
So if I did, and it's sometimes I can feel it, sometimes I can't, but if it is a size 8, it should be fine too. So 6 or an 8. So there was one other mistake I wanted to point out in this pattern too. On step 1, after the cut a comfortable length of fire line, the next sentence reads, the tail thread will be used later to sew a small beaded section on page 3 and 4 that will be inserted into the magnetic focal bead. There is not a magnetic focal bead. It should be the bullet end cap. So you might want to write that in there. That will be inserted into the bullet end cap. Okay. So on step 7, it should read sew through the next 2 11 A's, not B's. And that's where we're at now. So I'm going to pick up another demi and a bee colored seed bead and a demi and sew through the next 2 A's. And I'm going to repeat that sequence one more time. And pull your thread tight. And now I have those 3 sequence of beads. You can see here, 1, 2, and 3. And to step up, I'm going to sew through that first sequence. So the demi, the bee colored seed bead, and the demi. Okay, so the thread is exiting the demi bead. And now we're going to, if you can, I'm going to show you the side of it. So now you can see that there is a pattern going on here throughout this. It will be easier to see once we bead a little bit more, but we are going to continue this same pattern, starting with the fire polish. So with your thread exiting the demi bead, pick up one fire polish and sew through the next 3 beads that we previously added. So the demi, color B, seed bead, and demi. Like that. And pick up another fire polish and sew through the next 3 beads. And one more time, because I only have 2 fire polish on there right now. And there's the third one. And to step up, we're going to sew through the first fire polish bead. Like that. Any questions? No? Looking
No.
good?
Yeah, the pattern is starting to emerge. I like it.
Thank you.
Of course, I'm doing it all in pink, orange, and the rose gold.
Oh, pretty. I'd like to see that.
And so, yeah, Barbie influenced, you know.
So, so this is the row of fire polish. And now we're going to add another row of 2 color A seed beads. And sew through the next fire polish. So your thread is coming out of a fire polish. You picked up 2 color A seed beads and sewed through the next fire polish. Like that. And then we're going to pick up 2 more color A, sew through the next fire polish. And 1 more set. And it should be on top of the other seed, the beads below it. So that's what that round looks like. And to step up, we're going to sew through the first 2 A seed beads. Oops. There. That's what. And then we're going to repeat the demi, B color seed bead, and demi for the next row of beads. Sew through the 2 A's. Demi, color B, seed bead, and a demi. Sew through the next 2. And 1 more time. to step up. Sew through the first 3 seed beads. And now we're back to adding the fire polish. Is everybody starting to see a little pattern in there? Yeah, good so far. All right. Okay, good thumbs up. All right. So I picked up the fire polish. I'm going to sew through the next 3 beads. Are you out on your porch, Rochelle?
Mute. Yep, I sure am. It's so nice out here.
It looks like it.
My
I'm
friend-
down in my basement in my little hole.
Oh, my friend gave me a glider when she moved, and so that's what I'm sitting on. And the traffic in the background, I hope isn't too much.
Nope, can't hear it.
But there's monarch butterflies flying around in my yard today, and it's just crickets galore. So it's a really pretty day in the garden.
Oh, that's nice.
I hope others are enjoying where they're beading from. Where do we have people joining? You're on top of a mountain, aren't you, Robin? I know you're here.
Yeah,
Is
she
it-
just has to unmute. Oh,
Thank you. I had to unmute. And yes, I'm on the top of a mountain here in Colorado.
oh, wonderful.
So all I see is trees. I'm not outside. It's been a bit chilly. So
Yeah. So you get to see deer and wildlife and everything out there.
He's got
Yes.
bear running through her yard.
She has what?
been getting trash.
What does she
Yeah.
have running through her yard, Rochelle?
Yogi the bear.
Oh, bears
And foxes
and foxes.
and deer.
Wow.
Yes, we're popular.
Do you feed them or do you put like food out for them?
We're not supposed to, but sometimes if say something like bread is not good, we might throw it out there. But we have a neighbor who feeds the foxes hot dogs. So we'll see them with like 3 hot dogs walking through the yard. We know that the neighbors fed them hot dogs. And we had them a few yards away with the den. So we watched 3 kids grow up.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
fun. Every day we got on our porch and see the fur balls. I have a picture of one trying to pounce on learning to pounce, and he's in mid pounce, so he's in the air. It's a very funny picture.
So do they get hot dogs too?
That's probably why the neighbor was feeding them hot dogs, is to make sure they were getting food to the babies.
Oh, that's nice. Hopefully
So,
they
yeah.
don't go on vacation because, you know, there might be a problem if they don't get their hot dogs.
That's why you're not supposed to feed them. You know, they get used to you feeding them. The worst is, putting the trash out for trash day, because you can tell which trash cans the bear had gotten into. But yes, if you're on my Facebook page, you can scroll through and see baby bears. They climb our stairs and try to play with things, and mama bears, and yeah.
But none have tried to break into your house, have they?
One slammed the garage because my son tried to take a picture of it and it didn't like it. And I told him that was a warning not to do it again, because that bear could have taken the whole garage door off if it really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we kind of nixed that, but he's still, when he knows there's a bear out there. Actually, the dogs tell us and wake us up usually. The funniest thing is having a friend visit from Wisconsin who, before we built a gate around our trash cans, you could hear them being dragged across the driveway. And they were, for about a half hour, you heard this gravelly sound being dragged. And he finally came and knocked on the door and asked what it was. And we said, oh, it's the bear. He was like,
Rearranging the furniture
"Yeah,
outside, trash cans.
Yeah, we have a bear that regularly stops by.
Huh.
So he just tries to see if he can get in.
Aw, that's nice. I mean, not that he's trying to get in, but it's nice to be able to be around all that wildlife and take it all in. And
Yeah, it's not fun picking up the trash can after they've gone through it.
oh, I'm sure not.
I have, like, if I buy watermelon or cantaloupe, I do throw the rinds out because they do eat those.
One out there is completely stripped off. It's just the outside.
My husband just said that the watermelon, I threw out the shell.
Just the skin.
It's just the skin now. So evidently the bear had a good time last night.
Wow, that's good.
So yes, I have a bear.
So, okay. Is everybody, how are we doing on our ropes? Everybody doing good? Or do you want me to, let's see, here's my document camera. So, I have not been beading, I've just been talking. So I'm still at the fire polish. So after the fire polish, we are going to add the 2 11As, and it's just these 3 sequence of beads that you're going to be adding. So the next one is the A's, and so through the next fire polish. And if you're not sure what sequence, you can go back through to after you add the fire polish, you can go back to page 1. There's a fire, oh, and then go to step 6, I'm sorry, on page 3. And it'll say to add the 2 11As after the fire polish. So that's what I'm doing now.
It's a nice repetitive little pattern. I've been beading while talking to you this whole time. But so it's, the first layer with the demis, the second layer with the beads, third layer fire polish, 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so, or 3, 2, 1, whichever direction you want to count it. But I so far I've been able to chew gum and bead at the same time here.
That's good. So yeah, so I just added the 2 color AC beads. That's on step 6. So now I'm on step 7, repeating that.
Is there a trick of or what do you advise for adding thread?
Adding thread, I would not do it in the middle of a round. So right now I'm right in the middle of this round of adding the, whoops, I went through the wrong bead. So I'm right in the middle of a round of adding the demis and the color B seed beads. So do not do it in the middle of a round, but at the end of it, I would go ahead. Let me finish this round and I will show you. Okay, so before stepping up, so I finished this round and I'm coming out of the color A seed bead. I would just go ahead and take my thread and put it under that thread there. Can you see that? And then just go ahead and tie an overhand knot there. And then sew through the sequence of beads. And then again, just go under that thread path right there. Tie another overhand knot. And then sew through these and end your thread. Like that. And then to start a new thread, you can start it anywhere, you know, the same way, just sew under and, you know, tie a knot. And then just make sure that you are coming out of your step up. So to step up, you need to go through that demi, color 11 seed bead and demi.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now we're ready to add the fire polish.
Yeah, I've been reinforcing every other row, so I'm using a lot of thread too, but I like how it's turning out. It's gonna be a nice, I think I'm turning it into a bangle. Have you done that before instead of using a magnetic clasp?
No, I have not. So are you going to use like stretchy cord to do that, or are you gonna
Well, I kind of like any other bangle, you kind of crush your hand and just roll it on.
yeah.
I did that with other chenille stitch bracelets, and so I was gonna try and see if it worked with this. Just because I know people are gonna ask me. So I figure I'd give it a try.
Yes.
Because the
Like-
1G has a tiny bit of stretch to it, and I'm using 1G instead of Fireline. So
Yes, and that's that you will want to do a couple of, you know, sew through the beads at least once to make it tighter.
yep.
So that's I want to see your little strip that you have going on there, because I want to see your colors. Oh, pretty.
So my fire polish
Can you pull
is
it back a little bit, because it's a little bit
there.
It's
It's
more.
goldenrod or the fire polish. And then one color is PF 563F, the hot pink matte. And then the color in between the demi, which is PF 551, the rose gold peach, is the orange matte, PF 562F. So
I
it's
like that.
pink and orange matte mustard with rosy copper gold highlight.
Wow. I would have never thought that that would look good. I mean, I like that.
I didn't either, but I've been watching the Barbie Dream House Challenge after I watched the Barbie movie last week, right before I went to Pennsylvania. And so I'm really addicted. Think pink.
Mm-hmm.
And then orange is my second favorite. So there you go.
Yeah, well, you love orange.
I know I've always loved orange, and you just mix it with green and purple. So now Barbie's got me in pink mode. So I've switched the purple for pink.
Very
So
nice. What are the other Joyce is laughing about all the pink?
I'm doing your tuxedo kit. It's very pretty.
Oh,
With the
very
black and the-
nice.
Yes,
That is looking
beautiful.
great.
Yay.
Yay.
yeah, that's a
I love-
classic
I-
look.
I love ropes. I just do this all day long.
Yeah, once you get into it, it's relaxing. I mean, it's just, you know, very repetitive and relaxing and
And going in circles.
going in circles. Story of my life. Going in circles. So, okay, I'm just going to do a couple more rows because I've been chatting. So I have to make my rope a little bit longer, and then I'll show you that how to do the smaller beaded section. So, any other colorways that people have ventured off to and want to share? You just have to turn on your camera and unmute yourself if you want to share. Okay. Nobody wants to share.
Lisa, this is Colleen. I do have a question. I had another appointment this morning and I couldn't make it for the first hour. I saw you recording it. Are you gonna put your tutorial up on the site for the Upper Midwest Bead Society so that I can maybe catch up at a later
Yeah.
time?
Yes, so we had technical difficulties in the beginning. And because Rochelle is not at the bead store, so she's trying to do it off of her phone. So it's actually on my Facebook page right now, but we will.
We
Oh.
also have it now streaming live on the UMBS private group. And then I shared it from your page to UMBS. So you can scroll back. So it should be airing live in 3 different time realities currently as we speak.
Wow.
But then we'll upload it to Zoom, the Upper Midwest Bead Society or YouTube page, I mean, from Zoom to YouTube. So
Oh,
it'll be
wonderful.
there as well forever.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Because I got the kit and I'm excited to try it, but I don't know if I can catch up to all of you at this point. So,
Well, it's the same repetitive thing, so maybe.
okay.
Yes, and if you have any questions or any problems with it, you have my email. So you can either contact me through my email address, or you can go through my Etsy page and contact me there too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, lots of help. So, yep. And that's for, anyone. If, you just put this down, you pick it up, and then you have a question maybe in the middle of it or something, go ahead and contact me. And Rochelle, I was thinking about maybe having a Let's Bead Live and discussing different types of bead boards. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that, but I have several of them and there's pros and cons to each one. And I thought that might be fun to have on a Let's Bead Live class, and then show like which ones are good for travel, which ones are good for home use, which ones are, all of that.
Oh, I think it'd be great. Your favorite tools and tips and tricks or something like that kind of show, because this
Well, it
is
would
my
just,
favorite tool, your favorite board, because yeah.
yeah, I was just gonna have the favorite bead boards, but I mean, I think it would be good if, we could do the tools and stuff too, and just have like different parts of Let's Bead Live where I'll do the boards, you can do tools if you want. And
Right, that's what I mean. And
yeah,
so that's where we get more people involved to zoom in, and then yeah, you feature this, I feature that, and then because each one of us have our own unique experiences, and I like to play with different things, do the same thing with something different. So, my favorite thread, I've been playing a lot with the new Eslon Fire, and so things like that. I know that Hannah's got many tips and tricks, and what's her favorite, embroidery floss or tool,
yes.
stamp, or the wire, French wire, whatever you call it. Hannah, I know you're watching on Facebook, so you can type things in there. And
Hello, Hannah.
and thank you so much for manning Facebook from home and in Oregon. And it's a whole team effort here at UMBS. So if you think about joining, people that are like-minded, you should think about UMBS as just a fun way of doing it. You know, we meet for these things once a month. And then our Monday meetings are a lot of fun. And then we Zoom everything all over, and we're gonna have hopefully a in-person holiday party for this year. And next year's our 35th anniversary. So in 2024, so we want to plan that, have a party. So we have a few in-person events. We'll stream Zoom live while we do them. And other events.
I would, this is Colleen again, since I'm not working, I guess I have time to talk. I actually love that idea and would be very interested also in hearing about all of your tips about which kinds of stringing threads to be used in different projects. My daughter and I were having this discussion just the other day because she was doing some weaving, and I was kind of like, use Eslon thread, and she was like, no, I think I need to use embroidery thread. And so we kind of got into this little back and forth issue about which one was best. And so if you guys had any tips about what to use for what kinds of projects, that would be helpful. So
I
would
think
enjoy
that's a great idea.
Okay.
And then
Let
I
me
think
know
the thing
when.
is that I'm right, and here's what they said, so I told you so.
Well, I'm wondering, yeah, I'm not sure what we've got going on for October or September. October's easier for me. September's kind of hard. I work the Renaissance Fair Saturday. So
I have a
You
couple of things in October, but I think I should be able to do it. I have to look and see on my calendar.
You could do like almost 2 hours on nothing but clasps.
exactly. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
What's your favorite class?
Me,
For-
I like
Yeah.
necklaces. I like S hooks.
Okay.
And then bracelets. Lately, I've been on a fad of using snaps. If it's bead embroidery
Uh-huh.
or peyote. Anyway, that's all.
Have you
think
seen the
that's-
symbol magnetic clasps? So they are, well, I have a few. Let me just show you these. So I'll turn on my, and I know that Bobby Bead also carries them. So are they
Not
carry?
as many as you do, but we have a bunch.
Okay, so, and I have a bracelet I have to get, but I'll show you this for right now. So this is a silver one. So this is one of the clasps, and they actually have holes here that you could sew through and attach it to your beadwork if you want. And when you open it, oops,
Very pretty.
they have these little dimples inside, so it gives you extra security. You could
Yeah,
see.
you can't knock it off or knock it open.
Yes. And they're a good, strong clasp. And I'm going to show you a couple of samples where I use them. There's all different kinds. So there's this one, and this one I just did a bracelet for. So this is another one. And to open this, kind of go on opposite ends. These are really strong. So again, you can see the dimples in there, and then they snap together. And it really
Wow.
finishes off the bracelet beautifully. So with this, okay, that gold one. So this is a bracelet that I recently did because I really wanted to use those clasps. And so I made a 2 bracelet pattern design using that clasp. So there's
Wow.
the bracelet, and then on the back you can see the clasp.
That is so
Wow.
cool.
I just attached it to both sides of it.
Ooh, ah.
Yeah. So I have that one, and That's the gold version. So I'm just waiting for the pattern to be tested, and then I'll put this one in my shop. And then to kind of open it, I put my finger on one side and then do that. So it kind of opens there. And then pull it apart. Oops. And then since you like the tuxedo look, this is
Ooh,
again that black and silver look with the AB. And this one I also use the new wave beads. I don't know if anybody is familiar with the wave beads. They're a new one. I can show you those. One moment. Here we are. So these are, I have to cut it open here. There they are. These are a wave bead. And I find my needle here. So it kind of looks like an S in there, but that's what I used in the bracelet. So there's those. Yeah. I love these magnetic clasps. They're really fun to use. So, okay. So I guess now we should get back to the project. Little sidetracked. Oh, what is that clasp called? So is it this one that you're talking about? This is, it's called the Relaki. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Gem Duo. The double one, this one here is, and again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right. Can you see that? So it's a Souda or Souda 2. And these are all in my symbol elements section in my Etsy shop. So, and they have, the one great thing about these is they come in the 4 metal colors. So there's a gold color, the silver color. There is this rose gold color. You can probably see it better on the website. And then they do have a bronze color. And all of the symbol beads come in those 4 different colors. So it's really easy to incorporate them into your bead designs. Kind of just steps up the design a little bit. So, okay. So I am going to end this for now, even though I only have a little bit, because I want to show you how to do the small beaded section. So all right. So I'm sure nobody's done with their bracelet yet, but I am going to skip. It's on page 3 and it's called the small beaded section. So if you have add a stopper bead to some of your thread at the beginning, you can take that out of the stopper bead and we'll use that thread. Otherwise, you can attach a new thread to start that. Okay. Okay, one moment while I untangle this. Okay. So I'm going to add a thread or a needle. The thread. All right. So this new, if you attached a new thread, just make sure that you're coming out of the second A bead at the beginning of your bracelet. And that's on step 8. Now I'm going to go to step 9. So remember, for this section, we are only using the 2 colors of seed beads. We're not using the fire polish and we're not using the demis. Just the 2 seed beads. The 2 colors of seed beads. Okay. So with your thread coming out of the second 11A bead, you're going to string 1 B colored bead and sew through the next 2 A's. And repeat that 2 more times. So pick up a B colored bead and sew through the next 2 A's. And again, I'm doing the small beaded section. So when you have completed your rope, you will do this part of it. I'm just jumping to it right now just to show you how to do it. So I picked up 1 more color B seed bead and I'm sewing through the last 2 A's. And I'm going to step up by sewing through this color B seed bead. And you want this part to be stiff because it will go into the bullet end cap. So you're going to want to sew through these beads once, at least once. And make sure you're pulling the thread tight. Okay. So with your thread exiting a color B seed bead, we are going to string 2 color A seed beads and sew through the next B color. And repeat that 2 more times. Questions?
How many stacks are you shooting for?
Enough to fit into the bullet end cap. So
Right.
it'll be a few more, I think maybe 4 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like 4. Thank you.
You're welcome. And we're just alternating these rows. So I did the A's around there, and I'm going to step up by going through the first 2 A's. Actually, I need to sew through again just to stiffen those beads. Remember, this is going near bullet end cap, and these are little hefty. So we want to make sure that this is strong and durable when it goes in there. So I'm going to sew through these at least one more time. And you could sew through them, 3 times if you feel like it needs it. Just make sure that when you're ready to add the seed beads again, you're going to come out of those 2, the second color A seed bead. And again, we're going to pick up 1 color B seed bead and sew through the next 2 A's. Another B seed bead. Just do this all the way around. And make sure they're sitting on top of each other like that. The rows are all stacked up. And you can test it. Just put it in your end cap without putting any glue. And I think I can go one more time in there. So. This also helps to taper in the end of the bracelet too. So add 2 color A seed beads, go through the next B color, and do this all the way around. I'm sewing through the beads again. And I'm going to put this on there. I think 4 is good. I'm going to try 5 and just see what happens.
What kind of glue do you recommend?
My favorite glue
Uh-huh.
is this Loctite super glue gel. And I will show you. This is wonderful. So you have these two blue sides. So you're going to pinch those in like that, and you could see. Oops.
Oh, don't put it on your finger.
I know. I'm just trying to. I want to show you. Whoops. There we go. You see how like that little bit of a drop is? You can really control it. So there's just a little drop on the end of it. So pinch the 2 sides in and then it will come out. See how it just comes out really slow? Just a little bit of a drop. So That's why I like to use that one. It's very controlled and it's very easy to use and it dries fast. So that's the one I recommend.
Thank you.
So I did do 5 rows of these, but as you can see, there's 3 stacks of A's and 4 stacks of the B color seed beads. And when I did that, you can see that the very first row that I did here is kind of sticking out. So that's how you can gauge that maybe you went too far and maybe you can back out that row.
But that row is very pretty, so I don't think it looked bad sticking out one row, so. Just my opinion.
That's a good point. Yes. So if you don't mind that sticking out, then you could just leave it the way it is and, you know, have that showing. That's fine too. I mean, it does match the rest of the beadwork. So that's good. I could be wrong, but I just think that I don't know. I think maybe if you can hide, you know, this like little part inside of here, it might give it more durability. Because that one little row, I don't know. I could be wrong. So there's that. So when you go to glue in this end into the bullet end cap, do not fill up the bullet end cap with glue, because otherwise it's going to go all over the place and it's going to be a mess. So instead, I like to get the very inside of it. Let me get a pointer. So this very bottom inside part, I like to fill up, you know, the inside with glue. And then I just like to squeeze a little bit around the inside, just a little bit up in here. And then when you attach it to that smaller beaded section, I kind of twist it around a little bit just so it gets, you know, all the beads, and then just let it sit and dry. And don't touch it, and it will probably take at least a good hour, probably less, probably a half hour, but just to make sure that it's really dry, I would give it an hour at least to dry. So
Lisa, is it important when you glue that second end cap on to kind of line up the holes so that they're, you know, so that you don't have a twisting effect?
So you mean this hole in the bullet end cap?
Right. Kind of,
Yes,
kind of
that is a good
line it up on
point.
the other end.
Yep. You can, otherwise you can kind of, it probably is a good idea to line them both up.
Okay.
So they're both facing the same way.
Yeah,
So
yeah, so that you don't kind of get a twisting effect when you put the, attach the clasp.
right. So you can
Okay.
see the holes are facing upwards instead of one is pointing off to the side and one is up.
Yeah.
So you're gonna want to make sure that the holes on the bullet end cap, these right here, are facing in the same direction.
Good, okay, thanks.
That's a good point. Thank you, Jan. Okay. But before we, so you can test. So now, once this bullet end cap dries, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach the findings to it. So I'm going to open up a jump ring. And attach the magnetic clasp. Let's just pretend it dried on there already. And there. Close that jump ring. Like that. And it's on here. So now when I go to measure the bracelet, this out of the way. And let me get one that I've already done. Oops. Yes, I am wearing pants to the Zoom meeting. So, okay. Let's see. There. So I've attached this part of it. Actually, with this, you're going to see the two separate ends. So you're going to want to make sure it fits and try not to pull it because it will, as you can see, it kind of stretches out a little bit. So try not to pull it, just leave it the way it is. And you can, you're going to want to do the small beaded section on the end. Or actually, sorry, ignore that. Before you do that small beaded section, you're going to want to make sure that the fit is correct. So I put this on that section. There. And let's say it's at 6.5 and I wanted to go a little bit more. This is the time where you could pick up your thread that you're still working with on that, on this section here, and continue to add rows. Or if it's too long, you can take out a couple of rows. So that's how to adjust it at this time. And then you just want to make sure that you're going to add about 1/4 inch. So when the bullet end cap is on there, so you can see that that measures about 1/4 inch once you add the jump ring and the second half of the magnetic clasp. It's about 1/4 inch. So you add this here, and then you're going to measure your bracelet, and then just make sure that you account for that 1/4 inch for the second half of the clasp and the jump ring. Okay. So if you need to add more rows, then you can. If you need to shorten it, you can. And then you're going to complete the small beaded section for this side of the bracelet. And then you can put on your bullet end cap and just measure it again and make sure that it's the length that you want. Does that make sense? Yeah, good. Any questions? No? Okay. All right. And if you want, you can email me when you get to that part if you have any questions, and we can do it together. So when you get done adding your rows here, you're just going to end your thread before you glue the end cap onto it. And I think that's it, unless we have questions. No? If you do,
Yeah, Nee, we have a whole bunch of people who are very excited. And I'm having a great time. I think this is going to make a great bangle. But I do recommend if you use Toho thread or any thread, wax your thread if you want it tighter, or reinforce after every other, because I'm getting a better feel when I reinforce it.
okay. Thank you for sharing that, Rochelle.
This is
Rochelle,
fun.
show us what yours looks like. Oh, it's pretty.
I like those colors.
Yeah, it's rich
too.
looking.
I'm really happy about it. And like I said, it's Barbie, the goldenrods from the Barbie of the 60s and early 70s. And then the pink is more the 80s Barbie. The blush, I don't know. That was the color Demi I found. So there you go, you know.
And
Sometimes
just, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I said sometimes those weird bead tray mixes turn out really cool.
It really does. And that goldenrod color makes it pop, you know, like all that, it just gives it a little bit of a pop.
It does. I'm shocked. That was the only 3 miller I could find. I was like 4 mil, 4 mil, 4 mil. Where's the threes?
It's very cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Thank you so much, Lisa. This is great. We did post your website again on all the social media. So it's on the Zoom, on Facebook. Go
Thank
to
you.
Lisa Bead Designs Etsy shop.
Yes.
And what else are you doing in the upcoming future, Lisa?
So I have, let's see, on the 8th, I gotta check my calendar. On the 8th of October, I am going to the show in Greenfield, Wisconsin. It's hosted by Not Just Beads.
Mhm.
And so Maggie and I will be there. It's a 1-day show on Sunday, October 8th. And that should be really fun. It's our first time participating in that event. So we're excited for that.
Colors would be beautiful to go drive and take a look at the
Yes.
colors and go to the show.
Yes.
Wisconsin.
So that's in Greenfield, Wisconsin. And then I am doing, let's see. I don't have that on my calendar, but there is another Zoom beading event. It's called Virtually Ever Crafting.
I've
have-
heard of that.
Yes. So I will be participating in that along with Maggie. That's our first time doing that also. And
Aren't you going to Mesa too?
yes, so we will be going to Bead Fest, or Makers Fest is what they're now calling it. And that is October 26th, 27th, and 28th. And Maggie enjoyed the make and takes that you and her did at Bead Fest in Lancaster. So we talked about it, and we are also going to be doing that in Mesa. And then I have a class. I'll be teaching this class actually in Mesa on the 26th. And then Maggie will be teaching a Kumihimo class on the 27th. And so, yeah, that's a 3-day event in Mesa. So if you want to come out there, it's a good little place to visit. And that's 26th, 27th, and 28th. And you can go to their website and see their classes and sign up if you want and all of that. So, yeah, a lot of stuff going on in October.
That's
So-
really exciting.
So we might have to do a Let's Bead Live in November. For the, and I'll talk about the bead boards that I like. And then if you want to talk about the threads, and then Hannah can talk about, like you said, her embroidery stuff.
Or we had, yeah, and then more clasps. People want to hear more about clasps.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I think we'll have a fun little thing. So Hannah and I will work with you and see what's going on and talk to more designers who want to put their 2 cents worth in and share it with all of us.
That would be great. Even Maggie with her Kumihimo.
Well,
stuff
that's what I
too.
was saying is I think because I don't, she could talk Kumihimo project thread cordings, and I could talk more beading, and Hannah can talk more embroidering or something, so that we cover, more of our multifaceted customer base of multi-makers we got watching us.
Yes.
You could add wire to that too, Rochelle.
Right, exactly. So, hey, maybe Tia could get in about wire. She's been working on a lot
Yeah.
of wire.
Mhm.
So Lisa, the October, the not just beads thing that you're going to, we want to start adding these other events on the website. So if you could send me a link to that,
Okay,
yeah, or anything, anybody, if you see, an event coming up that maybe other people would be interested in, we'll put them at the bottom of the calendar page.
Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah.
Because we can't always make events on Facebook. So remember, go to the umbs.org calendar page and check out all these events. And if you're a member, that means you guys too, all members, we want to promote what you're doing. And let's share.
yes. Who knows, you
I
might
mean, we
have
can
like,
highlight that Lisa and Maggie are going to that show. I mean, that would be great.
I think it's great. Yeah, Maggie was telling me about it. And so we all want to hear what's going on out there, and we have members all over the country. So maybe Greenfield is close to you. Where exactly is Greenfield, Wisconsin? Is that South Central?
it's close to Milwaukee.
And
So it's, I think Milwaukee is, pretty close to that
yeah,
area.
because I think Not Just Beads their store is based out of a suburb of Milwaukee, I believe, right? Or they're online. They used to do the Bead and Button show. So
Yeah, they're located in Greenfield.
okay. I just didn't know where. So check that out, everybody. Any other announcements? Remember, our member meeting is with Diane Dennis on September 11th. And check out the Facebook page for that. And we'll have more information and
we might want to mention too that in a week or so, when we get the video loaded, it'll be on our archive page. So and in any of our past meetings or Let's Be Lives, you can link to them on our archive page on the website.
yeah, that's a really great point. And so you can always, download the patterns and beat it whenever you like. So I think that's a great thing. And we look forward to seeing you all.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to say, thank you to Colleen, because she just put up the, link to the Not Just Beads,
Oh,
show.
cool.
Yes, she
Great.
found it.
Thank you.
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Sure. Thanks everyone here for all your great tips. I'll have fun making this. So,
Oh, that's good. And we'd love to see it. So, they can post to the,
Facebook page.
Facebook page. Yes, when you get done. And like I said, if you have any questions about finishing it, sizing it, all of that, just go ahead and email me. I'm available. I'm
Yep.
here in my little dungeon of an area.
Oh,
No, it's a very organized area, actually.
Yes.
it is. But yeah, we want to get people in the habit, post pictures of your work from our Let's Be Live so that everybody can see what you made during the show. And we'll have a gallery before you know it.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. Who's ever streaming on Facebook is the one who has to stop the streaming on Facebook. Just as one of those little points. So hope to see you next time, everybody. Bye.
And Lisa,
Thank
you need to
you.
end the meeting.
Thank you for joining us.
And then you have to hit stop recording, Jen. You have to stop the recording before you end the meeting.